Welcome to Python tutorial. In this video I will discuss strings in Python. So in this video first we will understand what are the string operations, what are the built-in functions on string, slicing operator and etc. Strings are actually the order text which are represented by enclosing the same in either single quote or double quote or triple quote. Usually if you want to store a single character we use single quotes. If you want to store you can say that one more than one words, in such case we use the double quotes. And if you want to create a string which is consisting of multiple number of lines, in such case we use triple quotes. But single quote and double quote can be used interchangeably. It is not a hard and fast rule that if you want to create a single character or a word for we need to use single quotes. We can use double quotes also. It's not a big issue. But whenever you want to create a strings consisting of multiple number of lines, in such case we need to use triple quotes over there. In this example, I have created three strings: string 0, string 1 and string 2. The first one you can see here, it consists of a single word in this case, so that's the reason I have used single quote. The second one is multiple number of words are there, hence I have taken double quotes. In this case there are some multiple number of lines are there, hence I have taken triple quote here. Okay, so if I execute this particular line, it will be executed successfully in this case. But if I use single quote for this one, just to understand, if I take a single quote for this one, it will generate an error here, because we cannot create a strings consisting of multiple number of lines with a single quote. That is not possible over here. Okay, but if you have a single triple quotes, it will work perfectly fine. Now coming back to the next one, let us say that I want to see what is the type of all these things. So in such case I can use something called as a type function. In all the cases we will be getting we can say that strings only. It is not like all of these things are different. Because I have used different quotes here, these are not different, all of them are strings only. It is a string consisting of one word, multiple number of words in multiple number of lines. So that is how actually you can understand it. Okay, the next one is how can we access the characters of that particular string. For example, I am interested in a particular part of a string. How can we get it? So there are some different possibilities are there. The first one is we can use indexing to get one character. For example, I want the fourth character present in this particular string, that is str1. So how can I use it is str1 of 4. So the fourth character will be written to me. Which is the fourth character in this case? So all the strings always starts with 0th index. So 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So what will be written to me in this case? M will be written to me. For example, I am interested in this J. How can I use it? So 0, 1, 2. I have to pass what? I have to pass 2 in this case. So I just show you that particular thing. Here I need to pass 2 as a index in this case. So I will be getting J. So if you want to get the individual characters, then we need to use index, but we should be aware of what is the index of that particular character. The next one is the very useful function, or can say operator in a string, is something called as slicing operator. What slicing operator does is it will take two operands. The first operand is the starting index and the second operand is actually the end index, but it will not return to that particular thing. One less than end index will be written to you, so that I will discuss later. But there are two operands, one is start index and second one is end index. So what it does is there are some different possibilities are there. For example, if the start index is not mentioned, it is not compulsory. If it is not mentioned, then the characters from the 0th index are written till the end index, because start index is not mentioned, but end index may be mentioned. Till the one less than the end index will be written to us. If the end index is not mentioned, start is mentioned but end is not mentioned, so what can happen? Then all the characters till the end of the strings will be written to us. So that's the second thing. The third possibility is both of them are not mentioned. So what will happen in that case? If both start and end index are not mentioned, then all the characters of the string are written to us. So take this example. In this case, first time what I am trying to do is I am trying to print all the characters starting from 2, that is the 2 is the start index in this case and 6 is the end index in this case. So starting from 2 till 1 less than 6. 6 will not be the case. 1 less than 6 will be written to us. So 0, 1, 2, that is j onwards, 2, 3, 4, 5 till m, everything will be returned to us. So that is the first output. In the second case, I have not mentioned the starting index. So starting from 0th onwards, all the characters will be returned to us till 1 less than the end index. End index is 6 here, 1 less than 6 is 5. In the third example, I have mentioned start index, but end index is not mentioned here. So what happened? Starting from 2 till the end of the string, everything will be returned to us. And finally, I have not mentioned both here. So starting from 0th index till the last index, everything will be returned to us. So this is how actually we will be able to get the characters, or you can say the strings will be written, displayed to us. Now I will show one very useful functionality here. Now we will discuss different inbuilt functions in string. There were a lot of functions are available with respect to strings in Python. There are a few functions I will be discussing in this case. If you want to see all those particular functions, you can see those or you can check it out with the help of help function. Okay, so that's possible. Now the first function what I will be discussing is something called as find function. Find function is used to search for a substring in a given string. Find function returns the index value of the first character of the given substring if that is found in the string. If it is not found, or can say that if the substring is not found, then the find function returns -1. So what to remember here is if that particular string is present, or a substring is present in the given string, it will return you the index of the first character of the substring. If it is not present, it will return you -1. That is the very important thing we need to remember here. Okay. So in this example, the string is this one. What I am trying to do here is str1 dot find al. I am trying to search for al. That's a substring. Whether it is present in this string, yes, it is present here. So it will return you the first index of the first character. That's the first character is a. The index of a will be returned to you. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 will be returned to you. Similarly, I am trying to find am. Whether am is present in this particular string? Yes. No, it is not present. So definitely it will return you -1 in this case. So 7 is for al and -1 is for am in this case. So this is a very simple way of using it. There is another thing we need to remember. It is the first parameter or argument is compulsory. The second and third are the optional one. If you pass them, the find function will work in a different way. For example, if I pass the second argument, so what is the meaning of second argument is the start index. Searching of substring starts from this index. So that is the meaning of this one. So here I have mentioned what we can say that 1 here. So searching starts from first index onwards. So in the second example, I have mentioned we can say that starting index as well as end index. Starting from this index till this index, everything will be searched. It will not go till the end of that particular string. It will search only up to 1 less than 6th character. Similarly, that's the last one. Starting from 6 till 1 less than 10, it will search for all the characters for a pattern. If it is found, it will return to you. Otherwise, you don't get that particular output. Like -1 will be the output in this case. So now check it out. Whether m is present starting from 1, so 0, 1. Starting from a, it will start searching. Whether m is present, yes, the index of m will be returned to you. Starting from 1 till 6, everything will be searched. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Up to here it will search. 1 less than 6 means a. Up to a it will search. Again m is present. No issues. It will return you true in this case. Okay. Now starting from 6 till 10. So starting from 6 means nothing but what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Starting from here till 10. 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 less than 10. So till here it will try to search it. Here we don't have m, it will return you -1 in this case. So if you just execute it, in first two cases m is present, so it has returned you the index. Because in the third case, in this range starting from 6 till 10, there is no m, so that is the reason it has written -1. So don't get confused. M is present, why we are getting -1? M is present, but m is not present in this particular range, so that's the reason we are getting a -1 in this case. Okay, so this is how we can use find function. Once again, find function, what it does, it will return you the index of a first character if the substring is present. If the substring is not present, it returns you -1. Now the next one is something called as index function. What it does, the index function works in the same way as find function only, but the only difference between the index and the find function is that the find returns -1 whenever the input element is not present or not found in the string, but index returns the value error. So that is what the very simple difference in this case. So in the same string, what I am trying to do is I am trying to search for TAJ, that is Taj, starting from where? 0th index. Whether it is present? Yes, it is present. So it return you 0 as the index because it starts from 0th index. I am trying to search for Mahal starting from 0th index. Again, starting from here I am trying to search it. Yes, it is present. It will return you the index of M. That's perfectly fine. What about this one? Mahal starting from 10 to 20. 10 is here, 10 to 20. Whether Mahal is present in this range? No, it is not present. So what will be the output in this case is it will be value error. But if you use find function here, you would have got -1 in that case. So just check it out. In this case, there will not be any error because it is found. If I try to execute this particular thing, I will be getting the value error here because we don't find this particular substring in this particular string starting from the 10 to 20th index. So that's the reason we are getting substring is not found with the value error. So that's a simple thing. So I think you can understand the difference between find and index with this particular simple example. The next function in string is something called as capitalize. What capitalize does is it will take a string and it will convert the first character of that particular string into capital and remaining everything will be kept as a lowercase. So that is nothing but a capitalize. So this is the string here, and then what I am trying to do is I am trying to use capitalize, that is string dot capitalize. We don't pass any parameters here. This string is input to this particular capitalize. There is no need to pass any index or anything. It will convert this particular string into a capitalized sentence. That is the first word, first character will be capital and remaining everything will be remains as it is. So this is how actually the thing. So just show you this one. I'll make this one as F as capital. So what will happen in this case? Everything will be lowercase except the first character, in this thing. So first character will be capital and remaining everything will be lowercase. Now what I want to do is I want to print this particular string at the center of that particular the display or something. So I can use something called as a center function. Now if I use the center function, I will be able to display it. You can just see the output so that you can easily understand it. I just remove the 70 initially and then display it. Okay, so if you look at this particular output, the welcome to Python programming was displayed exactly at the center of this particular thing. Okay, the next thing is something called as the center, and what I want to display on both the sides. So in this case I can mention that both the sides I want to display what we can say that hyphen. So that is what actually we can do here. If you look at the output on both the sides, we can get the hyphen here. Okay, so it will leave 70 spaces here and then 70 over here, and then it will leave you totally it is 70. Okay, total number of characters, or can say is 70. Exactly center it will display this message. On the left hand side, whatever the characters are remaining, it will display hyphen here. On the right hand side also it will display you the minus in this case. So that is a 70. 70 is nothing but total field width. For example, if I make it as 90, you can see here the field width will be more in this case. If I make it as 30, the field width will be small in this case. So and so on. So something like that we will be able to create a field width in this case. The next function is something called as ends with. Ends with function is used to check whether the given string ends with a particular character or a substring. So that is what actually we try to check in this case. The start and stop index values can also be specified with respect to ends with function. So this is a very simple example here. Welcome to Python programming is a string. I am trying to check whether it ends with y. If it ends with y, it will return you true. Otherwise, it returns you false in this case. So in this case, it returns you false. I'll try to give one more message to you. Let us say that I'll try to check whether it ends with ing. That is ing. Yes, it ends with ing, so it returns you true in this case. So this is how actually we can use the ends with function to check whether a given string ends with so and so things. Now, as I said earlier, we can use the start and end index also. Whenever I mention start and end index, that is the part of string where it will check whether it ends with so and so or something. So starting from 0 till end index, I want to check whether it ends with L. So that's the meaning. Starting from 0 till 5, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to check whether it ends with, we can say that M or not, something like that. I want to check. So that is the meaning of start and end in this case. In this case, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 less than 5 is O here. It will not end with M in this case. But if I mention 6 here, it will definitely says that okay, this is a small case M we have. I just mentioned here. Okay, starting from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 because this is 1 less than 6, that is a 5. This is the only string. Here it will check whether it ends with M or not. If it ends with M, the meaning of this one is it will display you true in that case, otherwise it will display you false in this case. Similarly, there is another function called as starts with. What this particular function does is it will check whether the particular string starts with a particular character or not, a character or a substring. In this case, I am trying to check whether it starts with Y. Whether it starts with Y in this case, no, it returns you false in this case. Similarly, I will take one more example. Let us say that I will take this particular thing as well. Whether it starts with WEL, whether it starts with WEL, no, because there is a space here. So I will execute it one more time. Yes, now it starts with well in this case. Now the next function is something called as count function. What count function does is it will count the number of times a given character or a substring appears in the string. We can mention again start and stop index. These are not compulsory, but if you want, we can mention those things also. So here you can see here in the first case, I am trying to search from the 0th index. What I am trying to search for? I am trying to search for A, whether it is present or not. If it is present, how many number of times it is present. So it will count it and then it will display the message. Similarly, the second time, starting from 5th index till the 10th index, I want to search for A. If it is present, it will return you the number of times it is present. So in this case, it is present only one number of time. From 5 to 10, A is not at all present, so we are getting 0 in this case. Similarly, I will take one more example. I will try to search for something else. Let us say that O I will try to search, because there are more number of O's are present. If you see here, there are totally 4 O's are there, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So it is displayed here. Starting from 5 to 10, there is only one O, that is 0. It is 0, 1, 2, there is a space here. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Starting from 5 till 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It is not be considered. 10 minus 1 will be here only. So from here to here, how many number of O's are there? There is only one O is present. If I mention here it as 11, I should have got 2 here, because this is also included. From here to here, how many number of O's are there? 2 O's are there. So this is how actually we will be getting the output with respect to count function. What is the next function we have is something called as a split function. The split function converts the string back to a list. So for example, if you want to convert a string to a list, we can use a split function. For example, the string is this one. String dot split will divide this particular string into the list consisting of can say that words as the elements. So if you see this particular thing, welcome to Python programming, these are the 4 elements of this particular string. By default, the splitting character is always the space. But if you want something else, I'll take one more example to demonstrate it. So let us say that this particular thing is separated by colon in this case, or each of the words of this particular string are separated by colon. I will not be getting the same output in this case. I will be getting only one element. From here to here, it is exactly one element. I will not be able to divide this particular string into different elements or different words, because the delimiter is not space here. Because it is not space, we need to explicitly mention what is the delimiter. What is the delimiter in this case? The delimiter in this case is colon. If I mention it, I will be getting the output. The delimiter should be mentioned within single quote. I will be getting the output here similarly. So this is how actually we can use the split function to divide the string into what we can say that the list of elements. If whenever you want to divide string into list of elements, we need to mention the delimiter. If space is the delimiter, there is no need to mention it. If anything apart from space is there, we need to mention what is the delimiter. So in this case, I have mentioned colon as the delimiter. We got the output. The next function is something called as the lower function. What it does is it will converts any special characters, capital characters, characters to small case characters. So in this case, you can see here, welcome to Python programming is the string. Here what it does is it will convert all the lowercase characters, so capital letters into lowercase. So that is what the output will be getting. So W will be converted into lowercase. Similarly, we can use upper. What it does is it will convert all lowercase characters into uppercase. So that is how we can see the output in this case. There is one more function we have. There is something called as, you can say, is a very useful function, that is replace function. So what it does is it will search for a particular pattern. If it is found, it will be replaced with the new pattern. So that is what actually the thing. So it will take two parameters. So it will search for a particular pattern. If it is found, it will be replaced with a new pattern. So it needs two arguments. But what happens is by default it will search for the occurrence of that particular pattern, the old pattern, only the first time, and then it will be replaced with a new pattern, only the first occurrence. Okay, so if you look at this particular thing, you can see here. Okay, by default it will display, it will replace all the occurrences. Okay, by default it will replace all the occurrences, but sometimes I am interested in only the first occurrence. So in that case I need to mention the third argument. Third argument in this case is 1. So how many occurrences I want to replace? Only 1. So that is what the meaning. I'll take one more example to demonstrate here. Let us say that I will take 2 here. So what will happen? It will replace the 2 occurrence of this particular pattern to this one. So you can see here, here it is a replacement, here it is a replacement. In the second case only this is a replacement, and in the first case all the 3 occurrences were replaced here. So that is how actually the replace function works. There is next function is something called as a strip function. What is the use of strip function is, whenever we have some extra spaces before or end of the string, or beginning or the end of the string, we can remove those particular extra spaces using the strip function. So you can see here f is equivalent to some spaces are there, followed by hello, followed by some spaces are there. So f dot strip. Okay, so I just use print only just to make it similar to the previous example. I just need to execute it first, and then I need to execute this one. Okay, so now we can see here how many whatever the spaces are there, everything is replaced, and only hello was printed over here. Okay, otherwise if you are not getting or can say that happy with this particular example, I will just display what is the original one. Okay, what is that original f I will display here. So first I'll execute f, and then f I will display. You can see here there were some spaces are there here. If you look at it, there are some spaces here, and after this also we have some spaces. It is not visible, but still we have here. But if I execute this one, there are no spaces before this. There is nothing is present here, and if I try to select anything from after here, nothing is present here. So this is how actually the strip function works. The strip function can also be used to remove some of the characters apart from spaces. Spaces are by default removed with the help of strip function. But if I want to use remove star also, for example, you can see here in this example we have some stars at the beginning and the end of the string, as well as spaces. So both of them will be removed in this case. So if you see here, okay, so what we need to do is, what I want to remove, I want to remove space as well as star. So that is how I mention it. So I will remove space as well as star in this case. Now there is one more example, or you can say there is one more variety of this particular strip function. Either we can use L strip to remove all the space characters or any special characters at the beginning of the string, and R strip we can use to remove all those things at the end of the string. That is also possible. Okay, for example, I just show you an example here to understand this particular thing. I'll take the same example, this example, but in this example I don't use strip, I use R strip. What happens here? All the star and then the spaces at the end of the string will be removed in this case. Similar to this, if I use L strip, for example L strip here, rather than R strip I will use L strip. So what happens, all the stars and the newline characters at the beginning of the string will be removed here. So sometimes I want to remove this particular you can say in this example only spaces and star were removed. I want to remove this hyphen also. We can mention hyphen also here, that is also removed. Only what is remaining, the hello is remaining in this case. So this is how actually the strip function works. We can use the different versions of strip like R strip and L strip. So what I have done in this particular tutorial is to understand what are strings, what are the different operations we can perform on strings, built-in functions, as well as the slicing operator on strings. I hope this particular concept is clear. If you like the video, do like and share with your friends. Press the subscribe button for more videos. Press the bell icon for regular updates. Thank you for watching.